two more distance assessments, this time by Lea Symbols from the Precision Vision kit. Try saying that quickly. And also in the front we have a puzzle. Now you may remember from the near assessment practice video, in the bust assessment, the blue set, I said it was quite a good idea if you could get children used to those shapes because they appeared in other assessments. Well, here are these shapes again. And before we do any of the assessments or look at any of the assessments that are on the table, let's have a quick look at this puzzle. So it's quite a nice little puzzle. You can play with young children to get them to match up the shapes and start giving them names as well if the child or young person has got language abilities. Once we use that side, we can also turn it over. And we can turn our puzzle over too, and we can match by colour as well. It's quite a nice thing to see how easily a child can manipulate those shapes too. So that's, I just wanted to show you that as a precursor before we move on and look at the assessments themselves. So I'm going to bring this one forward. This is the single assessment book. Now, we have the key card if the child still needs that to match the shapes if they are not able to explain what they are. So here is the book. If I hold that up, it's a single symbol book. Gives a bit of information. Now if I flip open the first page, and if we look at the part just under my thumb, it gives acuity, and it tells you here that it's 3 meters. So that tells you immediately what distance you need to be from the child or young person to administer this assessment. And then flip that over. Here's our first picture of our apple or our heart, whatever the name it's given, and you will see at the bottom the acuity is 330. There's also logmar on here as well, 1.0 in the corner. So to do this test, we're going to either do one picture at each, because remember that the 4 symbols come in the same size. That's 330. Now it comes down to 324. So again, we might just choose one of those, skip the rest. And at 39, we've got 2. So you can choose which one you do. It's not crowded, it's still well spaced out. But it's really just to save space. There we go, 39, and now we're down to 315, and we turn it over, still 315, 312, slightly more crowded, but not completely, 3 over 9.5, 3 over 7.5, 3 over 6, and so forth, and then 3 over 3.8, wow, and then 3 over 3. And we go even smaller than that. And just on, so if you're going to actually get to 3 over 15, you're doing really rather well. You probably shouldn't be seen by QTVI or TVI, and so on. So that is the single symbol book, and it's very similar for the crowded version as well. But there are more specific instructions which are here. And again, we've got our key card. So here's our crowded symbol book. And you'll notice when I turn it over, the same thing on the inside front cover, 3 meters. And the array of shapes on the page is very different from the single symbol book. And we're starting off here at 3 over 9.5. And how this is done is you are advised to ask the child what is the symbol on the left. So this one here, just beside my finger. So we're only wanting one of those shapes to be called. And again, what's the symbol on the left? So the house. This time it's a circle, so it's 3. So if they get it right, you can flip on. So 3 over 7.5, what's the one on the left? It's the heart. So you might want to flip on. Still 7.5. So 3 over 6, what's the symbol on the left? It's the house, and maybe they're not struggling a little bit. So maybe you want to ask the next one, and maybe they think that that's a house as well. So then what you would do is you would go back, and you would go back to your 7.5 because that's the previous size, and you'd go to the very first one in that size. That's still 7.5. That's 9.5. So go back to this one. Oh, remind me of what was the first one there? That's the heart or the apple. Circle. And if they get 3 out of 4, sorry, when you go back, it's not just the one on the outside. You want the heart and the circle. And you want the circle and the square. So they need to get 3 out of 4 correct. And what you're looking for is the middle symbol to be correct 3 out of 4 times. And then you can move on. So it's quite precise. There are some very good instructions with it. And once you get to the end, if you haven't made a mistake, it flips over to the other side. So 3 over 4.8. You need to have fairly good acuity for that as well. So that is the crowded symbol book.